All right, so the meeting of the Lower Green Historic Study Committee is now in session. I would like to do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Okay, I would like to now read the mission statement and the purpose and goal of our committee. Our mission statement: the duly appointed Newbury Lower Green Local Historic District Study Committee is responsible for conducting an investigation to determine the desirability and feasibility of establishing a local historic district inclusive of the Lower Green, considering the historic significance of all buildings, structures, features, sites, or surroundings that would be included in such a proposed local historic district. The purpose and goal: to protect the historic Newbury Lower Green and the natural and built environment surrounding it for future generations to enjoy and experience the visual sense of the past history of our town. A Lower Green Local Historic District will create a neighborhood stabilization and community pride and forever provide Newbury school children with a playing field and educational opportunities. The intent of this local historic district is to maintain and improve the settings of those buildings and places and to encourage new designs compatible with existing buildings in the district. Okay, the meetings from the July 11th meeting, I would like to see if there's any discussion.
I believe it's July 10th.
Oh, excuse me, July, oh, okay. July, I have July 11th, was it the 10th?
Yes.
Okay, Monday, July
Yes.
the 10th. Is there any discussion?
So, meeting minutes, Tuesday, August 15th.
No, sorry, this is,
Last meeting minutes.
yeah, the last meeting. I gave you the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry
do you
about
mind
that.
the draft
Yeah,
minutes
I
for
gave him the
today?
draft, yeah.
I'm taking notes on
Yeah.
that.
I'm so sorry about that. First of all, I do want to thank you, Ellie. You always do an excellent job, you know, distilling all the information and the banter and everything else into the real meat of you know, what we want to propose. I outlined, I highlighted a few things. There was some confusion. I was under the impression that Lon and I were writing an introductory paragraph, and Lon was under the impression that we were writing the outline. So we got our wires crossed, so I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that.
No worries, I saw that, and I think
Yeah.
with Robin out of town, that, you know, that's completely fine. It allows us to move ahead without, because he and I were slated to write the outline, but I saw yours on weekend, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So no worries with that, but yes, I can, yeah. Was it helpful highlighting or kind of bolding
I
in
did.
the minutes
I
what
thought so.
actionable items? Okay,
Yeah.
those won't be bolded when I post them, but I thought it might be better to call out what we were supposed to focus on for this meeting.
Yeah,
So I will
I thought
continue to do that.
it was really good.
Okay.
I move that we accept the meetings as proposed.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, aye, it passes. Thank you so much again, Ellie. The next item on the agenda is to review and approve the energy efficiency in the local historic district frequently asked questions.
We looked briefly at those last time, but were there any kind of follow-up questions or anything else that came to mind?
I looked it over. I thought, there were some really interesting points, you know, for example, the greenest building is the one that's already built, you know, if people are worried that antique homes are energy, you know, hogs or whatever, or inefficient. The greenest house is the one that's already built. And existing materials are inherently greener than new materials. I did not have anything to add. I thought it was very well done. And do we, yeah, we go ahead and approve. I didn't have anything to add, but can this be an elastic document that we can add
Let's
to?
say
And
as we get into the
yeah.
study and come up
Yeah.
with something new or
or
better
get
than
feedback
anything.
from people,
or get
you know.
feedback.
Yeah, feedback, you know.
Certainly, questions come up as we're talking to people, and like, oh, that's,
Yeah, so it's approved as it is and subject to.
Yeah. okay.
So I move that
Change.
we approve the energy efficiency FAQs as presented by Ellie.
Okay, I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Ellie.
Yeah.
So as I said, there was some confusion about the précis. First of all, Lon doesn't speak any French, so.
I thought that was Latin.
Might be.
So,
Actually, I have Latin.
so you can't get away with it. So it was my understanding that we were to write, and I can still put this together for our next meeting.
Sure.
A summary of what it is that we're trying to do. Is that correct?
I think what we just determined was kind of a statement of significance.
Okay.
Kind of like an executive summary, kind of brief of,
Okay,
yes, what we are
that's
trying
what
to do.
that's what I had understood.
Why we're
That's
Something
what
that,
I had understood.
Yeah.
that
Not so much
Lon-
what we're trying to do, but, you know, because what we're trying to do is a study.
So the significance of the Lower Green. Now,
Yeah.
So why we're trying to do this.
so Lon and I, when we were putting together the outline, we were talking, you know, I mean, going all the way back to the geological, you know, reason for the Lower Green. The is it a dolmen? The is that what it's
Old
called?
Town
The-
Hill.
Yeah, Old Town Hill. Is that a dolmen? I believe.
Drumlin.
Drummond. You know, so the geological aspect, and then the Native American settlement, or settlements, I'm sure that there were many, and then the significance of the river, the colonization, because of its significant, you know, the having the river, the grazing land, you know, all of that, and then coming all the way up to its significance now. You know, we have a schoolhouse, so it was a place of education, you know, it was a gathering place. Robbins property held a meeting house, you know, and a church. I mean, there was local governance there. So all of this kind of thing in the Précis?
Or are we thinking something briefer than that?
Well, I think the
Because-
goal was to take this before the select board and lower historical commission,
Because,
I think.
well,
or planning board.
what she just, what Joy just talked about here, really is if you look in the outline, under introduction, the Lower Green Local Historic District's beginnings, it really defined the significance of the Lower Green, the schoolhouse, the community, and the state. So that's kind of where that would go. That if it contained everything that you're describing.
I mean,
So this right here,
Yeah.
this introduction part,
Okay.
the introductory.
I should open up mine because I have notes on that, but we'll get to that.
Whereas if what we're trying to write there is, this is why this whole thing started, and this process and the study that we're doing, then we're really talking more process
Well, I think
rather than
it's-
history, and I'm not sure.
Well, I think it's both. I think Placey is just a simple, it's a paragraph of, this area is significant for briefly these reasons, and it is also threatened for briefly these
Right.
reasons, which is why we are doing this. And that, whether this becomes part of the report or not, I think it can be amended. I think at this point, it's simply like an introductory paragraph to the planning board and select board to just.
Architectural integrity came up in one of the documents that I read, and I thought that was kind of a,
Preserving architectural
yeah,
integrity.
yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed to kind of fit some of the purpose.
Okay, good.
So yeah.
So I will have that ready for next meeting.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me, and I'll put it in the Dropbox well in advance so that we can
Sounds
take a
good.
look at it and you know, try and get feedback, solicit feedback from all the members. We will not review and approve the Précis because it's non-existent at this point.
Sure.
By default.
All right, so review and approve, let's review the Lower Green Local Historic District Study Committee report that Lon put together, the draft outline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, could I do that and start, can we start instead, this is just an expanded version of that.
Yep.
So this is basically the table of contents for the report. Or a suggestion for it, a draft. This is a start, it says draft at the top. So the examples that we looked at for local historic district study committee reports had a summary sheet, like a fact sheet up in the front that basically said, here are the people that are the study committee, the summary of the findings, acknowledgements of who might have helped, what documents we might have pulled out, and then went into the table of contents, and then an introduction. What is a local historic district and what is the local historic district process? So that kind of summarized that, and then a discussion of the Lower Green local historic district. So again, looking at the purpose and again some of the stuff that would be in the article, the paragraphs that Joy's going to write, and then going into the methodology. So what is the process? So an introductory paragraph to that, study area boundaries. So that would be a discussion and a map.
That's the cloud boundaries though? That's just
no,
everything
this
that
is
we
the
studied?
study area.
Right, so
The
everything
cloud
we
was where we're going to take our walk, right? And so we went, way upstream on 1A and way downstream on 1A and all the way down on Cottage and on Newman Road. But within that, we're going to be looking at houses, properties, things like this, and so that'll be the map for the study area, but not necessarily for the local historic district, but for the study area. If a building or a property is outside of that, we won't look at it, or we'll move the boundary over to include it, one or the other.
Okay.
It shows the limits for our study.
For the study.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should have that, and then. Oh, and this is the preliminary information, so this will just discuss our process. We've had one of those meetings. I suggest we rehold that.
Yeah.
Because we had no products at that point.
Right.
I mean, we didn't have a map, we didn't have anything. And I wouldn't hold this until we have a study plan. This, if we approve the annotated outline, you could almost go in and say, okay, there's a task, there's a task, there's a task. So once we got this and it's approved, it would take an hour to write a study plan. And the study plan can be a public document. It says, here's what we're going to do over the next, whatever it is, 5-6 months. Here's what we're going to do. This is the process we're going to use. And where do we get it from? Well, we get it from the state. We get it from what we know has to go into the report, justification, significance, whatever it might be. It defines what we're going to do. Then I can take that into the selectmen, the select board, and I can take it into the planning board. We'll have a map of the study area, and we'll have a study plan. Here's what we're going to do. Until then, I'm not sure what we're going to tell them, except that we're meeting regularly. So I think that would be a document, and then we could take that document, to our information exchange things and actually say, here's what we're going to be doing. This is my suggestion. Once we got this, we know, in order to write it, we know what we need to study. And this is, so if we determine what the report's going to include.
So I really like the way that you've done this. I think it's very thorough and thoughtful. I propose, however, that we table it until everybody's present.
We need
and
comments.
everybody, we need
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah.
So I
You've got
propose.
a different background than me
Yeah.
completely. You're
Yeah.
gonna look at that and
Yeah.
say, oh, and then, you know, and write a 2 sentences in. It's an annotated outline.
Well, I actually do have notes on the
Oh, good.
Dropbox one.
Okay, let's
Oh.
Yeah,
can we
just a
talk
few.
about it.
Sure,
Good,
sure,
good,
certainly.
good.
Now I gotta figure out how to get in.
Yeah. So yeah, just on the few, because I likewise, I think it's really well laid out. It makes sense systematically. There were, let's see, a few things about, let's just zoom out so I can actually read that. Under methodology then on the annotated outline, we, in the defined criteria area, is this, I was looking for something about community development and not knowing kind of how the Lower Green was developed or why, you know, obviously you're saying the river, there was previous settlements in this area by Native Americans or indigenous people that maybe eased settlement by colonists in this particular area, but then how did it grow from there? And so why, you know, was the church put XYZ location and how was it kind of grown north to the lower, to the upper Green, all of that.
Oh, yeah, that needs to be in the history.
Well,
Again, this
yeah.
is, I just said define the significance, and that includes the history and.
Well,
and-
right,
and-
it's,
And that's where I put the American Indian discussion.
certainly, and but in terms of criteria, it's, you know, we're looking at this indicates the Lower Green, views from the Lower Green, and then views from view sheds of Lower Green, if you will, from down streets. That's what this says.
Well, yeah,
What about the growth
the
beyond
access.
those view sheds? So we've been looking at a few other, you know, necessarily roads in our study area that don't have view sheds to Lower Green, but those are something that we're interested in studying because of their connection to the growth of the area.
Good.
So anyway, it's very,
Good.
it's vague, it's all nebulous at this point. But yeah, about community development maybe
That's
being
good.
a criteria.
That's good.
And definitely in the historical narrative, like you're saying.
I like that a lot.
Following that, there's a, you know, hold preliminary information exchange meetings in the 3 Newberry villages. Questions, are there only 3 Newberry villages?
Yes.
Okay, and they
So
are.
there's Old Town, which
Okay.
is, Old Town is part of, the Lower Green is part of Old Town,
Okay.
but Old Town extends to the Upper Green, to Route 1, you know, all
Up and
that
down
area.
180.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then up
A
to
little
the
bit.
water in one direction and beyond.
Actually, yeah, beyond, and, you know, and there's a, Marsh Ave goes all the way down on the other side of the river,
Okay.
on the other
Yeah.
side of the bridge. And then Byfield starts basically on the other side of Route 1. And that goes all the way to the Georgetown border, to the Newburyport border.
Okay.
And then Plum Island begins, I would say, probably by Joppa Flats, you know, like, by the airport, you know, that area.
Is it
And
that
then-
kind of?
Yeah, I don't know where the property line goes.
Yeah.
Is the airport in Newbury or is the airport?
Newbury.
It is it?
Yeah,
I don't
the
even
Spencer
know.
Pierce Little Farm,
Certainly, yeah.
Spencer Pierce Little Farm gave the airport that land,
Oh,
yeah. The chair recognizes Chan, did you want to say something?
Yes, just wanted to clarify one very evidently touchy point lately. There is only one village, and it is Byfield.
Oh, I saw that, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Plum Island, the part section of Plum Island is called the Newbury section of Plum Island, and Old Town is here. What you were talking about, going from Marlborough Street, Newburyport, all the way past the river, and then it expanded obviously out. Only Byfield is literally a village.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it was
I
created as a village.
Yeah,
That had to have a minister in order for it to be a village. So,
So what are the others considered?
So,
the
part
town,
of Newbury,
Is it-
part
the
of
is
town
the
itself.
Yeah.
Jan, does the zip code define it,
Oh,
or not?
You could use that.
I'm just wondering if,
But
Byfield
Plum
then
has
there'd
its
be a
own
line.
zip code.
Well, Plum Island and Newbury proper or Old Town are the same zip, so.
Yeah, but Byfield has its own zip.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I read that and, yeah,
Yeah, so
That's very
sometimes
good.
things, you know,
thank you. Yep,
it appears as if people either don't know the history or other areas of information and people get upset about things, so.
yeah, we certainly don't want that.
Sometimes for very good reason, but
Yep,
just to keep it,
no, yeah, no,
Straight.
we certainly recognize and respect that fact, so thank you for bringing that up.
So there are 2 villages.
No, one village.
There's only one
One
village.
One
village
right
and
here.
then
in
the
the town
town.
of
And the town.
Newbury.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah,
people started calling the 3 villages, and it just happened recently.
Because the names, it's distinct identities. Plum
Yeah.
Island is distinct in people's minds from
Yeah,
Old Town.
so
from-
it's,
But not
but
legally.
Plum Island is Plum Island. I know it sounds ridiculous, but, and Old Town is the majority of the town of Newbury. And this area that we're in actually right now was the Mills area,
yeah,
which is Byfield's village.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, that's good, very good. Thank you for that, Jan. Yeah, very good,
None of the others have ever been called village
yeah.
until somebody threw it in, I think it was in a newspaper article or something.
It was, yeah, it
Yeah,
was,
and it's
yeah.
like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, yeah. So I should clarify by saying 3 parts of Newbury, 3 distinct,
areas of-
yeah, 3 distinct areas of Newbury.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good point. Well taken.
Okay, so. What did my note of that say, actually? Is that, so that section about the information meetings in the 3 neighborhoods
Yeah,
of Newbury?
yeah, parts, yeah,
Neighborhoods,
good,
yeah.
yeah,
We
that's good.
created another name.
Are these, is this gonna be like a single paragraph about them, or are we looking at data?
No, we're just saying.
No,
we
so
held
we're
it.
gonna have a meeting there, you know,
This is
just
a-
to let people know.
This is a study
In the,
report.
no, but in the report, because there's a section in the annotated outline that seems to
I would
discuss that.
just say we held these meetings and we discussed it. It wouldn't be that long.
Okay.
We're
that's fine.
documenting that we followed the process.
Okay.
That's all.
So all those, the bullet points, I was like,
Yeah.
this could be an extended, or it could be a shortened, I just wasn't sure about
Yeah,
that, but okay.
I wouldn't go,
Wait,
I
what do-
wouldn't take any notes or anything. We could just say we held those meetings, we presented our study plan, we asked for comments, whatever. And if, I guess if anything came out of that modified how we were doing our study, then I'd give credit to that in there too.
Well, I think it's also the fact that we want to be respectful of the town and let the town know what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Certainly.
and going to, you know, what do they say, you know, you don't bring the mountain to Muhammad, you know, you bring Muhammad to the mountain, you know, you go where the
Something.
people are. And I'm probably not supposed to say anything like that.
Yeah, but I think that, like, especially if, we get comments from some of these meetings and incorporate that
Yeah.
into the study,
Yeah.
we'd like to say we listened.
Yes, well, that's
And
really
we
important.
modified the study based
That's
on that.
absolutely
Yeah.
what we want to do.
Yeah.
We want to get as much feedback
That's
as
why
possible.
we're doing it.
Yeah, perfect.
Information exchange.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, making notes.
I mean, it looks really, it looks complicated, but it really.
No, it's just very clear. It's, you
Yeah.
can flesh it out. It doesn't, I don't think it looks complicated.
Yeah.
I think it's very clear.
And then this Yeah, we'll just keep going through this, and then I'll explain that example on the third page.
Okay.
This is a view into the way your mind works.
Mhm. Plan the work and work the plan.
Yeah, good.
Engineering.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
When you get to the example in red. let me
Yes,
know.
okay. Let's see, in just under significance, so this is down in, conduct historical research on homes and properties in the study area. And there's a bullet point on identify the significance of structures and properties in that study area. And it goes through a couple, the schoolhouse,
I
homestead.
just did for examples.
Sure.
There may be other things.
I wanted to add archaeological potential, as well as indigenous lands to that.
Ooh, yes.
Excellent. Yeah.
And of course, we will add more, I'm sure, but I just wanted to make sure that those got on there.
Didn't Robin say that there is a person who has spent the past several years studying the indigenous people of this area, and that...
Didn't you say something about
I've
that?
got
Was
a-
it-
I've
was
got
that
a-
you?
I've got a
Oh,
book.
yeah.
I went to a
Yeah.
lecture and I have his book.
Wow,
Nice. And
So
So
it's
we did
about this
consult.
area? Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, well, up into New Hampshire also.
cool.
So this whole
Well,
area.
right, the state lines
Yeah.
don't matter.
Right, there weren't any states.
Yeah.
So yeah, certainly. Okay, cool, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you said,
And I've got
Ellie,
his book and I'll give you a reference to that.
you said archaeological, did you say?
Potential.
Potential.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any digs have occurred, maybe on trustees.
I'm not
Maybe.
sure.
You have to go through Massachusetts Historical Commission. There are laws in terms of
Yeah.
pardon me, archaeological digging, especially due to certain acts like NAGPRA, which is the Native American.
What is it?
Lord, I should know this. GPRA, that one. But anyway, because it recognizes their rights
Yeah, certainly.
to their history, but it is still incredibly cool. There probably is a lot of potential in certain areas
Yeah.
of the Lower Green or on the Lower Green. So just something worth noting, bring people's attention that
And you said indigenous
lands just.
lands,
Yeah,
okay.
just that being something
Lands,
specific
yeah.
about the significance of the area.
Yeah.
And then also, I put that around open spaces, I tagged, and then the other one with the Route 1A scenic byway, which, it's a state scenic byway.
It
like,
is,
isn't
yep,
Oh,
it
wonderful.
is, yep.
Also, it's placed by the river as it led to development, right?
Right.
So that a river, I think, is something significant here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
this
yeah,
can be,
distinguishes
this
our
can be
property.
expanded up to
Yeah.
anything.
Yes.
Definitely. And the marsh, I mean, like, the trustees has been, they've been doing work in the marsh where during the days of the civilian, CCC, what is it? Civilian Conservation Corps, they dug the channels in the marsh, right, exactly, yeah,
There you go.
Have you grabbed that?
yeah.
For the people here, this
They
is
did the
Yeah,
same thing in
yeah,
the Everglades,
yeah.
by the way.
oh
Oh,
really?
did
That's
they?
what's
Oh, I
destroyed the
didn't know
Everglades.
that, oh dear.
Former committee member Madison Blast wrote an article in Historic New England's most recent magazine on hidden stories in the salt marshes of Newbury.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yes.
So, oh, wonderful.
Anyway, lots of research there.
Yeah, yeah, that's a loss to lose her.
Certainly is. I think that was all my notes on that so far. So thank you very much. It's very well
Okay,
written.
just add more and we'll.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
And then we
love
can put a
it.
little bit more text in.
Excellent.
And then once we know what's in under each of these semi-major bullets, we could put together a team to start producing that.
Sure.
that-
Start
that-
fleshing
that
them out a
material.
bit. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
Better
okay.
the outline, but less the work.
And then if we go to that next page, which isn't part of this, but I think should be included in it. It states all the different things that you can, the different, what do they call them?
Regulatory exclusions?
Regulatory alternatives. There's a list of them that the state has, and then one of the documents we read saying, okay, here are all the ones that are out there, and we are recommending not including these.
Is this, so there was one part actually, and I think I understood it, and then I didn't, and I think I did
This
again.
is just all I did is I pulled this text right out of
Another-
one of the documents. So it has no relationship, I mean, possibly, to the lower green.
No, I certainly understand.
But I think we should have a section like this that says, that here's the types of things, when we describe what a local historic district is. Here are the types of things that could be regulated. Here are the ones that we don't think we should include.
Doesn't this Appendix A in your report is recommended ordinance bylaw text? Wouldn't that have these specific regulatory alternatives in
That's the bylaw, absolutely. Well, the ones that'll be in there are the ones we included. I'm saying we should say, here's what we didn't include. We don't want to control the color of paint.
Right, but those will
We
be
could.
those will be outlined in the bylaw.
Correct.
Yes?
Yeah, this is just,
The
he's
fact
just, yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
so? Is in the red this example of things that wouldn't be covered by
Yeah.
the regulations? Is that is what would be Appendix A or part of Appendix A?
Could be, right?
No.
Because those would
Appendix
be-
A is the bylaw.
Right, but in that bylaw, if you look at other
The
local
bylaw
historic
says
districts-
this is what we're gonna, these are the regulations that will be.
But it also says, a lot of them also say what will not be.
Oh, we could do that.
It will say,
I
specifically,
figured.
yeah, if we put it in there, it will be in black and white of paint color not.
Okay,
Protected.
you could do that. I
think
think we
if
would
it's in the-
state what we're not gonna do.
I mean, right, I mean, that's
In the
right,
bylaw.
that's a valid
In
point.
the study, yes.
That's a valid point, because you could go on forever.
Here's
And
what we're
it's
not gonna
shrubs,
do.
Right,
and it's
right.
not gravel, and.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But I don't know, I mean, I gave you an example of that
Sure,
one.
sure.
I don't know whether these would be the ones we wouldn't include.
Right, no,
I don't
but in
know
terms of
whether we wouldn't.
The
include
general,
some of
here are
that.
things that could, here are
Yeah.
things that couldn't. No, I
just-
think that's really
I-
good. Where did you pull this from, you said?
Out of the example that Robin gave us
Another study
of a
report.
completed one.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's,
and I could give you,
oh, I'm sure I have those examples.
Oh, I'm
That's
sure
fine.
that's exactly what I said to Lon, is I said, I bet Elizabeth, I bet Ellie is very
Yeah.
familiar with all of these.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
two examples that he gave us were from Worcester and Lexington. So that's what Lon pulled that from.
and then other appendices, I don't know, both of those other ones that I looked at, reviewed had a property index. I'm not sure what, exactly whether you need something like that. Another one, inventory forms, photographs, we were talking about comparing a house the way it was, house the way it is now, but certainly not every house that's gonna be in there. The ones we don't, if we do that in the body, maybe we'd have an appendix, the ones we didn't include in the report itself. I don't know.
And are these photographs, is there intention to illustrate how properties have changed or how they haven't changed? Or just for fun?
Well,
What do you
yes-
think?
yes
What do you
and
think
no.
is more valuable?
Well, it's the point, what is the point that's trying to be made? If it's, if it's in the text and it's, look at the historical integrity, like you're saying, of this or that area.
Yeah, I mean,
It's great to get
it's-
historical
It's a different
photographs
color.
and show
It
them
has,
today.
it has, shutters on this one, not in that one, but the architectural structure is similar.
Mhm.
This integrity,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Just a thought, I don't know, this is, I'm looking at
Whereas-
possibilities.
Whereas in other parts of the report, for instance, where it's looking at development pressure reasons for this report, then it would be interesting, for instance, to have historical photographs of where the old barn was
I love it.
and
Yeah.
what's there now.
I love it.
That's another example of being able to use then and now photos,
Very
saying,
nice.
here's
Could do
how
that.
things have changed, or here's how things are. But anyway, both are totally valid. I just wanted to ask what your thought, kind of behind that when you were thinking
Yeah.
about this was.
That's a great idea.
And actually, I got that from our last meeting, so, but
Okay,
the
yeah.
side by side, the side by
In-
side.
So that would be the community development, what you were talking about, as an illustration of before and after.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's like the Newberry, or maybe an introduction area of the local historic district and historic process, maybe, or the beginnings of the local historic district study committee. There's got to be a part in this about why we're doing this.
The beginnings is kind of the why.
Yeah, but is that an introduction or?
Well, it's in the beginnings. Well, we could put it, I see what you mean, but
Yeah.
introduction up at the.
Yeah, under table of contents.
Yeah,
first
well,
intro.
it's in the section called introduction, right?
Yes, yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Like formation under local historic district, Lower Green Local Historic District, there's a bullet point, the beginnings, which is the significance, right, you're saying, of the Lower Green, and then the preservation need and recent efforts. There we go, there's it, I knew it was in somewhere in
There
here.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of the Bushy property.
yeah, well, we know it started, I mean, what's happened, at least I've only been here, 15, 16 years. And a lot of changes occurred in the old town,
Certainly,
that
yeah.
section.
Yeah, but, okay, so fun, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good,
Yeah,
that's good.
Yes, okay, yeah, other appendices, right, we can make that decision as we come to it, if
Yeah.
we find more,
And
both
then,
useful.
I just put an example of the kind of, obviously, we won't have the numbers that they've got in table 1. What do we figure, there's about 30 houses in
Nor will
so
we
many
have the
properties?
architectural styles that they have in here.
I know, but a
We
table,
don't have too much
an
exotic
inventory,
revival.
Yeah.
but an inventory might be useful.
I think that'd be really useful.
Constructive.
Inventory is kind of saying what is the architectural makeup of the Lower Green, of
Yeah.
the area that we're studying. Is there a lot more Tudor? No.
Yeah,
or
no,
Georgian,
yeah.
Or
Right.
federal,
Yeah,
which
Queen
yeah,
Anne.
and so what
yeah.
generally is it? Is it colonial revival, right? From the
Right.
beginning
Yeah.
of the 20th century,
Right.
or that kind of thing. And then also I do like table 2 where it goes into the by decade
Yeah.
when houses were built, because it again gives
Oh,
you a
yeah.
period
Yeah,
of
so
when
this-
was the mass.
So if
of
we decide to
development.
include these,
I like these tables,
that's find some research we have to do.
yeah. Oh, that's
that's all.
Don't. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun stuff.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
see, and now we knew whose name to put in.
Yeah, no, I love that, yeah.
I love looking at buildings and going, okay, well you're mostly that, but then you
Yeah.
were this, and
I
then
love
you were
reading, yeah. I
moved
love
a bit
reading
around.
buildings.
So that'll be the next thing, so after we've got the study plan, then we'll get a big red magic marker and put names
names by
to
it.
it.
Yeah. You're in charge of this.
Yeah, that's great.
I have totally lost my notes, man. Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you can provide comments in the document, and then Joy and I can come in and try to make this final. And once everybody does this,
Yeah.
I'll make a study plan from it.
Okay, so knowing that we will hopefully have a full panel committee next meeting, I will send out with the minutes maybe after this meeting, just a call for Bethany and for Robin to review this,
Okay.
add notes as well
Yeah.
before next meeting so that we've all had a chance to look at it. If
Yeah.
they have any additional things, which I'm sure they will, they've got totally different backgrounds too, then we can come up with the absolute final draft next meeting. And then you can work on it from there. Does that sound good?
Okay.
I view things as very elastic at this point,
Yeah.
like, not the final, but, getting there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at least we will have something that you can bring to the select board
Right.
and the planning board,
Yeah, here's
that
here's
we've
how
all
we're pro-
agreed on.
Here's how we're
Yeah.
proceeding.
Yeah.
Here's how we're
Right.
proceeding, and this is, it's been
Yeah.
voted on, it's approved for, in quote, release to the public.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Very
And then, I mean, if we turn a shovel of dirt over and find something new and interesting, I mean, there's nothing wrong with including that in the report or.
Right.
You know.
If you have a sudden urge to go do a trench around the schoolhouse this summer,
Ooh.
I'd love to do another archaeological dig.
What's interesting is, when one of the properties on the green was for sale, it was descended upon by metal detectors.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Oh, really?
yeah, without even any, you know, as far as I could tell, without any permission.
Well, depends on the town, you'll have to check, I think, whether Newbury has a permitting requirement for metal detectors, some places do, some places don't. It is certainly,
But it's private, it was on private property, and I watched them do it. When the property
Yeah, I'm
was
not
for
sure.
sale and no one was there,
gotcha, yeah.
they just went
Oh,
like a grid,
Wow.
and there were all different people. I watched them, and you know, as I was outside, I said, "Do you have permission?" "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, I have permission." You know, what are they going to show me, a permit? No, they didn't have permission. I'm sure they didn't.
There's people out in the lower green every once in a while with shovels,
Yeah.
walking around with metal
Yeah.
detectors, and
Yeah,
if I see them dig too many holes, I'll go
Yeah.
out and talk to them.
yeah,
Well, I've seen them on the beach a
But
lot.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing out there anymore.
It's all just
It's been gone over so
Gotta
many
go-
times.
You gotta go to the beaches, because people drop rings and jewelry all the time.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's not historical, that's
Maybe
just
jewelry,
ours.
but it's modern,
Yeah, it's all modern.
or it would have been
So-
found.
So, the next item is the Plan Next Study Report assignments. Let's table that.
One moment too, let me
Yep.
kind of catch up
Oh,
here with
sorry,
a few
certainly.
notes.
Yep.
Yes, okay, so.
Oh, and make comments on the outline too.
Mhm.
Anything else? Yeah. I'm sorry, table of contents.
Okay, so we talked about that, and then we're back to, after the regulatory alternatives, oh gosh, what did we just discuss?
We looked at, you know, thou shall not, you know, we looked
Yeah,
briefly at
Oh,
that.
tables, let me look at
Yeah.
tables.
Yeah,
Oh, photos, where,
yeah.
yeah, okay, how photos can be used. Where, and then tables to include.
Sorry.
Then,
Let's put Ellie's name down next to table 1 and 2.
we have already a lot of that information, I think, just if you look on the assessor's maps, tells you when the buildings were at least constructed, or when they were believed to be constructed. A lot of those dates, at least I found with the old buildings, are not accurate, because
No.
they didn't build the house until
Yeah.
much later, or another structure was there, but it's not built, it's there now,
Yeah.
or that kind of stuff, but.
Or the building was moved, my house was moved
Mhm,
there, you
mhm.
know.
Or they bought
And-
land in that year, but wasn't necessarily didn't build until 3 years later. So, yeah. But, starting point, okay. For next meeting, we'll vote. Okay, then Lon will draft study plan from finalized table of contents. Okay, but that's after
And,
next meeting.
Yeah,
I'll let Joy review it first, and then I'll figure out how to put it up on
Put it on Dropbox. Let's definitely figure that out soon. Yeah, because there's getting to be quite a plethora of interesting things on there, so
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
want to make sure we all have
I like
access
the way
to it.
you're organizing it though. Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
So, for the Plan Next Study Report assignments, I move that we table that. Yeah, I think that we table that until we have more
study plan.
input, well, and we have more input
right.
from the members, you know, we have a full board.
however, Tracy will draft, I think that's a sort of one of these assignments. Is there anything else we can do in the meantime with regards to this, or just waiting?
Certainly I can do the Plessy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and I'll likely start the study plan now.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
can
sure.
modify it.
Right, it's, yeah, we
Yeah.
have a basic outline,
Right.
it won't change too much, I don't think, but, based on their comments. Okay,
So update on Newbury Citizen Survey outreach and responses. Have you
Yes.
gotten any?
we have.
Oh, yay.
Not too many.
Yeah?
But yeah, we have, I think I just looked today, and it was 2, though I think I'm missing one, because I got another email from SurveyMonkey, but, yeah, we do have 2. I'm gonna try and download them so that I can share them with you on the Dropbox.
Great.
But they, by and large, have been really helpful and some really good feedback, as well as some interesting, responses to, for instance, what are your concerns about the potential of the local historic district, and, what would you like to see protected? So, but both responses so far have said they definitely want to see the Lower Green protected.
Wonderful,
So that's awesome.
wonderful. And then update on securing a 5th study committee member.
Hold on, one more thing. I've also been,
Yep.
I emailed Newberry about getting onto their social media.
Yes.
So TBD on that, but I am trying to, I hope that, they think that it will be appropriate to post something on the Facebook page or on their whatever other social medias they're on, to hopefully just get that QR code and survey link out more.
Good.
Also, for announcing the information exchange meetings and eventually the public meeting,
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll see, yeah. Yeah. Information sessions, yeah. Okay, there are a few other things from last meeting I just wanted to follow up with. We were talking last time, month, about it would be good to send when we come to that second survey, and other such things with the property taxes. And Lon, you were going to try and see if you can follow up with Julie if that's even possible.
Oh, I can do that. I haven't at this point.
Okay, all right.
Sure.
Yeah, and if so, what that process might look like to kind of getting us in that mailing.
Okay.
And then,
What are we, guessing a time frame, we're probably talking 7 months from now.
whenever the property taxes get sent out.
So they get sent out, there's a November one, right?
Well, they send them,
Well,
I
December.
get 3 or 4 a year.
4.
Quarterly?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, quarterly.
Quarterly. Well, that's a lot more options. Cool.
Yeah.
Probably not the November, December one.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Not that one.
No,
But
not
maybe
even
spring.
close yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We'll
Well, this
see
is,
how
oh
far
no,
we
I'm
go.
sorry,
This-
this is a different survey.
Yeah, not
That's
the
right.
current one.
Yeah, okay,
But a more
right.
specific one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, and then, if it is, Joy, you then brought up the Newbury Cultural Council, blah, blah, blah. And one, whether there was anything else we could do to, or they needed from us with regards to Newbury Day and being involved with that.
Yeah, I actually did not follow up
Okay,
on that,
all
so
right.
that was,
No
that's
worries.
my bad.
do we have anybody that can go to that?
I am not available, I know Robin is not available, I know you're
Oh,
not
man.
available.
I'm available.
Yeah.
So that's not very fair.
Yeah, that's not
We can see
fair.
if Bethany's available.
So you
Yeah.
get to vote on whether we,
Yeah,
Well, that's the kind of questions I'm not entirely sure if, what that would mean, whether that would mean a.
not without a study plan
yeah,
at this point.
Right.
yeah.
Other than just waving a flag.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
Saying we're
Yeah.
the.
You're right, that's
Lower
actually-
Green local.
So
Historic
I'm
District
thinking
Study
maybe next
Committee.
year's Newbury Day.
Yeah, okay.
I
It's
think
week,
that might be,
it's
yeah.
a week out, 2 weeks
It
out.
is,
So in
yeah.
terms of getting Bethany,
up to speed,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's probably
it's not fair to
cool.
her, yeah,
okay. Oh, okay. Well,
And it was an idea, and
yeah,
it was a good idea.
yeah.
August isn't a good time. Well, I guess
No,
that's
August
September.
is terrible. Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, no one's available in August. Okay, so
What
there's
is this,
that.
Europe?
Well,
Nobody's
going to
available
vacation.
in August.
Well, I wish. No, kids go back to school. vacations
Yeah,
are
yeah, I
happening,
know, I
no one's-
know.
No one's around.
Everybody suddenly realizes, oh gee, the summer's
Summer.
almost over. Ah,
Well, this summer, summer's actually happening.
I know.
And there was also, we mentioned last time the Newbury Cultural Council grants as a possible way to fund mailings or such. Not
That, yeah, so, I will go to Newbury Town Day, I won't be there forever,
Okay.
but, the Cultural Council has a table,
Okay.
or they did last year. So I was going to kind of pick their brains with that, so, I will do that at Newbury Town Day.
Newbury Day. Okay. And then there was something Robin was going to follow up on, not sure about, we can follow up with him next time, but it was, well, that's, never mind, it won't be relevant next time, if we could include our survey with their Newbury Days mailing, because they have one too.
Yeah, no,
Too late for that one, so.
Yeah, but we're not ready with it anyways.
Oh, no, for sending out our survey, the
Oh,
current one.
the
Yeah.
current one
That was,
we
that
have,
was the
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Oh, Chair recognizes Jan.
Just as, we are open at the schoolhouse, for Town Day from 11 to 3. If you guys have information that we can have it available in at a table in the schoolhouse, like for the survey,
We
take
can
it,
definitely get you a
or
QR
something
code
like that, if
today.
that would help out.
Absolutely,
Nice.
So,
thank you.
Thank you, Jan.
because we're gonna be open as long as the, first settlers burial ground is, so that people will
Yeah,
be in those two areas, hopefully,
okay.
so. Otherwise, everything else is really at Spence Beers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Schoolhouse.
Thank you, Jan.
Okay. Awesome. I will email you that. Does that work?
I can print
have-
out,
was
I
gonna
can
say-
also print out some surveys
Okay,
too.
no, I had printed ones, but they're not with me.
Yeah, I can, did we change them from the one that we have here? Do you want to send me if there's an updated one? Or the updated one would be in the Dropbox, right?
The updated one is on our website.
Okay.
There's a link on
Okay.
our website that takes you directly to the SurveyMonkey, so copying that, or there is the QR code that's on our Dropbox is accurate. So that one is to
Okay.
because we updated it slightly after that information session.
That's what I thought.
We did, but
Yeah,
that I
that's
did
what I
update that, so the QR code
Okay.
should be good with that one.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yes. Okay, do you want to print? I will confirm. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Update on securing the fifth study committee member. I'm happy to report that we have secured a fifth member in Bethany Dorough, who had been, she had Madison's job before Madison, right?
That's
She had
correct.
been with Historic New England and now is the executive director at the
Museum of Old Newbury.
Museum of Old Newbury. I always call it the Cushing House Museum, but it's Museum of Old Newbury. So she has a wealth of experience and knowledge, and we are very happy and privileged to have her join our board, our study committee, excuse me.
I believe she has been approved by the select board.
Yes.
I'm not sure if she has been sworn in yet.
I'm not sure, yeah. So we certainly welcome Bethany. And we come to the public comments portion. Are there any public comments? How are you doing, Russ? I didn't see you come in. No? All right.
Anything else? Any other
Any
additional
other
business that we
No?
didn't cover?
Okay, I'll move to
No.
adjourn.
Next meeting?
Ah, yes, next meeting, ding ding. I know that Robin will not be available from the 11th to the 21st. So that puts us toward the end of September-ish.
Well, cool, because I'm not available from the 14th to the 25th.
Well, I'm not available either.
I'll be New Hampshire.
I'm not available 14th through the 19th.
Okay, that's covered there too. Joy, when you're not?
No, I'm always around.
Okay. Okay, so yes, we have
That last week is probably the best we're gonna do, huh?
it in September. Yes, I also cannot do that Thursday or Friday, so I can only do Tuesday or Wednesday that week.
So, you
Let me
wanna,
check
yeah,
calendar.
If we can do a Tuesday, I know Jan, you like to come to the meetings.
Alas, there's a select board meeting that night.
Select board meeting
At 7 though.
at 7.
We could still do it from 5:30 to 7,
Yeah.
as long as we're out here promptly, which we could be. We will be tonight. We pushed it in the past.
We
with the
will
full
be
committee.
tonight, however, we have a lot to bring up and Bethany coming on board. So.
Could we do 5 o'clock? Or is that, or do we want to keep it at 5:30?
Doesn't matter to me, but that's
Or,
Yeah.
not true for
Yeah,
Or-
all of us.
we push it to the following week, the 1st of October,
That works too.
yeah, you wanna do
Of-
that?
which we
The
have.
3rd,
Yes, the 3rd works. I'm just checking there's a Zoom meeting, but nothing in person after 4.
you could set it up tentatively.
We could do October 3rd and check with Bethany and Robin
Yeah.
Okay.
to make sure that works for them. And
October 3rd at 5:30.
5:30.
Okay.
Okay,
And that's a Tuesday?
that is correct.
All right.
Let me see how many weeks out that is. 'Cause
So 5:30.
I 5:30. Nope, that's incorrect. Let's try that. October. Let me actually check my calendar, just making sure. No, that works. Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, so if there is no further business, I move that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, meeting is over.